Let me see if I've got something that's a little better mic here for us. Oh, I don't need the headset. So we are vertical. We got a different coffee this week. We have Cafe Bustello. This is one of our favorites. Hopefully this will help a little bit with the sound.
Maybe.
I hope.
I don't know.
We'll find out. Getting closer to having the desktop replaced, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully here within the next week, like by broadcast next week, we will have it. I'm gonna have to go ahead and take it up to Best Buy, and because I haven't been able to find a computer for less than $2,000 for what I need, so I'm hoping we can figure out what's going on with it. I still think it's graphics card. I'm not 100% sure. I do have a local friend that's going to take a look at it. So I might be able to avoid Best Buy if we can get that done that way, but so we'll see. I'm going to let you go first with your books this morning.
I'll start with this one first since it's newly recommended. Okay. So this is another first edition retro clone. This is Swords and Wizardry. Wizardry. Swords and Wizardry. It's put out by Frog God Games. Try saying that fast 3 times. It's put out by Matthew Finch and a number of other folks at Mythmere Games. Has some of the rules for like older editions of Dungeons and Dragons if you prefer those, or if you're more partial to those because you're older like I am. Not that I'm partial to them, but they are there if you choose to use them. It actually shows you how to do descending armor class in there and calculate THAC0 and those kinds of things if you choose to use those. You can always just use the D20 system like everything since 3rd edition has.
Nice.
Black and white art where it's applicable in there, and just a more basic rule set of D&D equivalent there. And the classes are a lot more basic. It's just, warrior, wizard, thief, cleric, that kind of stuff. There is a really good section in the back of this book also for designing encounters, designing dungeons, things like that, which is really nice. So.
Good morning, Drac. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hello.
I am all about the St. Patrick's Day.
Happy Lucky Day.
Happy Lucky Day. Happy, we need to be making some corned beef this weekend day.
Mm-hmm. And day before yesterday, I finished the first half of this book.
That's the fastest he's ever read anything.
Well, almost.
He zoomed through it.
And here's the secret. I read it along with an audio.
The audiobook.
So while the guy is reading with the different voices, I'm reading out of the book. So I'm basically reading along at that person's speed, and then I'm usually reading about 2 or 3 chapters at a time a day and putting it down, and then I can have time to ponder it, So I read the first half of this book, Shadow of the Torturer. So it is kind of a coming-of-age story where he is exiled from his guild and he has to travel out to this place where he has been assigned to because they really don't want to kill him, especially considering he already has the training of their guild over, his youth. So they send him elsewhere to do the job of an executioner elsewhere. And as he travels, he meets various people and gets into some trouble. And basically, though, I will warn you, it is... the first book is basically this story of this young man traveling through the eyes of a randy 15-year-old.
He told me about that the other day and I was losing it. A randy 15-year-old.
Because he encounters...
stuff and things.
Stuff and things, yes. Um, yeah. There's a duel in it, which is very cool. Someone challenges him to this duel, and kind of, but he doesn't know why, and he kind of unravels that plot as it goes. I will not uncover that for you, but I really enjoyed
But
this
Randy,
book,
15-year-old.
and I'm about to start the second half, the second book in this 4-book series, Claw of the Conciliator, probably today or tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. So those are my two for today, including a re-recommend of Shadow of the Torturer. So
Very cool.
yeah.
And the I love seeing him read, especially when he gets into it and he's just like oblivious to everything else and just dives in. And I've been having to limit my screen time because of the fact that the desktop is down. So I'm starting to come around to reading again. Not, I'm doing it in spurts, and I've actually been focusing more on like children's books and the easy reads and something, that's, easily absorbed because my brain right now just doesn't want a brain. But we've got some things coming up that I'm excited about. And we're meeting up with a friend today. I'm excited. If you end up actually watching the live stream, happy birthday. So we are going to go hang out with her and her husband for a little bit. But Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, I did live stream on Twitch with my art and was absolutely prolific.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach. Good morning. And I created 5 new emotes for my Twitch channel. Just out of the blue, started sketching. This guy is one of them. So this is Studious. Studious has had several incarnations where he's been skinny, he's been fatter, he's been taller,
but always dapper.
But he's always dapper. Always has the bow tie and vest. But I just started sketching yesterday, and so I have a hoot emote that Val has already been overusing.
I've already been using it
on the Twitch channel and in
lets
Discord.
me use it on your
Thank
channel.
You. Yeah, because I'm not boosted.
Yeah.
I'm not nitro boosted or whatever. So this is the second of the cutout cards that I've made, and this one was for him, so I didn't put the whole back thing on it. So he's going to end up being a regular here soon. And I'm looking at possibly making him into a plushie like I'm doing with the one rabbit. So I'll have the floppy wings and the thing, and I'll print them out on Spoonflower. So there's Hoot, my emote that's Studious. And he's got, I don't know if you can see the detail on him, he's got little feathery bits on him. And that was kind of, I don't know, not necessarily a new style, but definitely fast sketching helps you get ideas down faster because it's less time for monkey mind, what they call monkey mind. That's the internal editor that's always telling you your stuff is crap and that kind of thing. Shut the monkey up by sketching faster. So I do a lot of sketching even in Procreate in blue first to get my ideas down, and that's really been a thing for me lately. So that's Studious. My books for today, and happy St. Patrick's Day, Zach. So, older book. I've read this a couple of times. They came out with a movie with Robert Pattinson.
And that
Water for Elephants.
Crazy actor that was a Nazi in like every movie since.
Well, I know Inglourious Bastards. I think he was in that, and
yeah.
I can't remember, but he was the bad guy in this one.
I can't remember
and
the actor's name though, and
he was good, but
yeah,
he
plays a good villain.
Yeah, my favorite character was the elephant, but so growing up, my grandfather used to work for the fairgrounds, and I used to help the carnies set up. They wouldn't let me play any of the games because I knew all the tricks, and there are tricks. And I'd clean them out.
I even know what they are
Yeah.
because I worked at the Carnival Games department at Magic Mountain
Yeah.
when I lived in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was games department.
But this is an inside joke with the circus, and I have to give Sara major props because she did her homework. I keep shifting over this way because my camera's normally here, and I got to keep remembering my camera's over there. So I'm trying to look at you. But the Water for Elephants is a joke, somebody trying to get into the circus or trying to get a job with a circus, and they're like, what was your job? What's your job experience? Oh, I used to water the elephants. It's not a thing. So, but lots of history, like real history of circus folk, and so I got sucked into it because of that and because of my experiences. The book is really, really good. I have another one by Sara, and it involves gorillas, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I will link it, that I have not read that I am going to dig out and read. So, but this one I've read several times. The movie's good, but the book, of course, is better. And for me, it was an easy read.
I recommend that
but
to
it's
like
a true
every one
based
of
on
my
a true.
students. The character study for the villain in this story, I recommend to my students.
Yeah.
As a kind of a case study, because he goes from being this like really generous, giving, family like guy to being something else, and that evolution takes place over the course of the book. You're not aware that he's the villain at first, and it's just kind of like, whoa, what happened to this guy?
Yeah, but when they do it, it's pretty
it's
blatant.
pretty intense.
Yeah.
So I tell my students that the character in that story is one to take a look at. So even if you watch the film with your parent, well, you can't really watch the film with your parents, I guess, but it is a little graphic.
Well, it's more violent than
than
anything else.
Yeah.
So in the back, there's actually a conversation with the author, which I thought was great, and there's a lot of archive photos in here. Like this one's from Teague Circus Archives in Wisconsin.
I've been to the
doing good, Zach. How about you?
I've been to the Ringling.
Well, your brother actually went through clown college at Ringling.
Yeah.
And then traveled with the train circus.
The Blue Unit Circus. Yeah.
Yeah, with the trains. So, I am not a fan of circuses with animals anymore because of how they're treated. But I grew up around. We had Circus World, which was a little theme park in Orlando, and you could go do the participation circus, and I tried everything. Trapeze was probably my favorite. My least favorite is that big, huge, giant ball that you walk on top, you balance on. I can do balance beam all day long, and I was in ballet, when I was younger, and great balance, had zero problems. Get on that thing, and that all goes out the window. It's just no. And I'm terrified of heights, and I wanted to just, see if it would break my fear of heights. No. But doing the trapeze was cool. But they had, lead wires on you and for safety and all that. But I think the most fun part was dismounting and hitting the net down below.
I have done
it was fun.
Trampoline.
Oh,
but
I was huge on
trampoline when I was a kid was just dangerous.
I was huge on trampoline because we had when I was in gymnastics when I was younger, which was even more fun for me than dance. trampoline was my jam. Loved trampoline. So, but yeah, I could go on and on and on about stories with the circus and with the fair and all that stuff. But Water for Elephants is a good read. Very blunt, very blatant on a lot of the terminology, a lot of the stuff that they used to do. You know, some of the practices and traditions and stuff with the circus, and just really cool stuff. And now for something completely different. This is another of my favorite books. If you are into genealogy at all, this is really cool. Somebody had turned me onto this a long time ago. It's Across Time and Death, Mother's Search for Her Past Life Children. So she actually, this woman went and was regressed, and she kept having these weird dreams and stuff. It ends up being memories. True story.
Interesting.
And she went to Ireland and actually found 2 of her past life children who were in their like 80s or something. I mean, just 80s or 90s. And so there was like a 20-year difference between when she died in her past life and when she was, you know, if you're into anything having to do with genealogy or reincarnation, this is a really good read. And it was just, yeah, it was really cool. But she actually was able to find photos of herself.
Herself? Oh, that's
crazy. Of, you know, and there's a lot of stuff that just, you know, stuff that she couldn't have made up. And just being driven to do the research and trying to, you know, find where things were and sketching out, drawing drawings from her dream and then finding the actual location. It's just really cool. Even if you don't believe in any of it, it's just a really interesting read. It's a short read. I love books like this because I can devour them in a day. But I've had this one for quite a while. This one came out. I was working at the bookstore at the time, I think. This one came out in 93. Yep. I was working at Books A Million.
Books A Million.
I think as paperback manager.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, working in a bookstore when you are a book fanatic, I had to make it so that I spent $20 out of each paycheck just to keep myself sane. Otherwise, I would just be like, you know, binging. And most of the time, if it was Books A Million, I'd hit the dollar tables, which was bad. So, but you know, you ever work in a bookstore? That's the trick. $20 out of your check and roll it over if you want something bigger. But this was one of the ones that I had picked up.
Well, some of them give you
really
a discount
great.
too. So I worked at Walden Books for nearly 3 years, and I think we got a third or 40% off. It was either a third or 40% off of whatever we bought. You know, so
I don't remember how much we used to get.
So like I
want to say we got 50 at Barnes.
I used to buy. I used to get my comic books for full price because they were a magazine, but like my sci-fi and fantasy books from the sci-fi section and stuff, I used to get the paperbacks, just the mass market size ones that are usually about $8, for like $5.50. So that was a really nice break on paperback. So for a brand new book that was damaged.
A lot of the paperbacks now, like some of the authors that I like, they're coming out with not the regular mass market size. They're coming out with the larger trade paperback.
The taller one.
They're like $16.
Yeah.
And it's like I haven't done the audio book while I'm reading thing. I'm kind of intrigued by that idea, but I also I do
it was
love
voiced by
audiobooks.
Roy Avers, who has passed recently. But he read like all 4 of these, so I've been reading.
I like it when they use the same voice actor.
And he uses different character voices for the different characters as he reads through it. So, you know, if it's a young girl or if it's an old man or something, or if it's the main character, he's voicing it a certain way, so you're like, okay, this was so and so speaking.
Don't mention their name, but I know because I don't want to give it away. But I know you mentioned that there was one character that you didn't realize was female until you heard them voice act it, and then the description.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's always helpful. I have a couple of voice actors.
Until it finally said, until it said I tried to buy her a dress.
Yeah.
The one character narrating a part of the story and was like, I tried to buy her a dress. When we were at the inn,
Yeah.
and she refused. So
one of the other things I like, because I have Audible, but I kind of start and stop it every once in a while. And sometimes if you stop the subscription, they'll give you like 3 months at half off just to keep you. So there's a trick to it. But it's like, yeah, I'm going to put this on pause for a while. Oh, it's only $5 now? Okay. But they don't do that very often. But some of the audiobooks that I've found have been because of the voice actor that I was like, I really like this voice actor. What else have they done? And if you're lucky, there's a slew of other books that they've done. I would like to get to the point where I can do short books or something where because I used to be a reader for, I had a friend of mine that was blind that hired me in to read and record books for him, which is not easy. And I was misdiagnosed years ago and put on prednisone. And aside from the fact that I lost my memory for 6 years, not like completely, but a lot of patches of memory, and terminology's out the window. Languages, trying to learn languages is very hard for me now, but I ended up with mild neurologic damage and could not read aloud anymore, or had major difficulty with it. Being able to speak like this, and when we moved here to Kentucky, I took on, started the Kentucky Browncoats group, and literally forced myself to do events and, talk to 200 people at a time. I am not, was never big into public speaking. I was actually incredibly shy. Imagine that. When it's like, huh? In like elementary, middle school, I used to get bullied horribly. I was 5'7" when I was 9, so I used to get picked on a lot. And so public speaking was not my thing, and I always wanted to get past that, so I just kind of threw myself off the comfort zone cliff, took on the Browncoats, started doing public speaking, and have forced myself to improve being able to read out loud, being able to, live stream is a huge thing for me. So that's something that I'd like to get to that level, even if it's my own books, which would be great. But to be able to record audiobooks, if you go to Amazon and scroll all the way down to the bottom, one of the properties down there is ACX, and it's, you can set up an account and do voice acting and that kind of thing. Read books, do different things. Like I could read something like this, that's fairly short. I've got the equipment for it, that kind of thing. Getting the quiet for it is another story. But I may, at some point, set up the other closet for sound studio kind of stuff at one point, because you can do that. But so, update on one of the projects I've been doing, Doves for Ukraine. I will link in the description below afterwards. Doves for Ukraine, we've got almost $200 in donations from sticker sales. Got 165. I've donated 100 of it already to the RPCV Alliance for Ukraine. It's the returning Peace Corps volunteers. and they were awesome. They were spreading the news around, and most of my sticker sales came from a lot of the Peace Corps volunteers who'd been over in the Ukraine in the past. And we're folding doves, which is why it's the name. So this is what 1,000 doves look like, or 1,000 potential doves. So I've already done this many, and pull one out here so you can see it. Very, very simple fold, very cool design. Found this on YouTube. What?
No,
But
anything origami, I'm like,
it's way easier than a crane. Way easier than a crane. I literally will go through and, like, this entire stock, I'll go through and fold them in half, and then I'll go through and fold them in the next step, and then I'll go through and fold them, and by the time you're done, you know, I think maybe an hour, 2 hours, maybe. Probably about an hour, collectively. I was watching something streaming in the background while I was doing it, so probably about an hour.
I was to say each episode was about 50 minutes, so that's
Yeah.
approximate, yeah.
Because I was watching Grimm while I was folding, but doing it production style actually works pretty good. The Berea Arts Council actually got the project listed in this current newsletter that they just came out with, so I'm very happy with that, and I'm setting up a folding party. If you're local, it's going to be at the Berea Arts Council. I'll have to let you all know what time. Check Twitter is where I put a lot of my updates. Of course, I'm on Facebook and Instagram too. All those links are going to be in the bottom, but so we'll see. I need to actually time myself and see how long it takes for me to fold one. But because that would be kind of cool, the, you know, number of hours folding. But it's 2 per page. There's no waste because I'm actually cutting the extra piece off is being made into a notebook. So I'm doing custom covers and doing little notepads. So no waste. I like doing things that way. I'm not a fan of wasting paper, especially right now. Paper prices have gone crazy. The sticker prices have gone up. I haven't raised my prices on the stickers yet, but I'm definitely not making as much as I was. And because that, they're not running the deals they were anymore as much. But I'm going to design some mini stickers out of the emotes that I did for the Twitch channel the other day, and I don't have those.
I was looking at Etsy yesterday. And
I don't have those on me.
3D printed tabletop minis has gone up like crazy too. Between the shipping that you pay for them and what they're charging for them, you're paying like $11-12 for one miniature. It's like, that's crazy.
Well, Loot Crate.
Yeah.
Or Loot Studios.
Yeah.
Loot Studios has a $15 a month subscription that
but is that files
you get
or
like
is that...
they're STL files. You get
see,
like 50.
Not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but
I know you get a lot.
I'm
more
on the
at
founding
once,
board for the makerspace that's about a block from here. So
Yeah.
and we have 4 3D printers.
Yeah.
And I could easily just be like, you know, hey, can you guys print this out, kind of thing. 'Cause I've got a couple of people over there. Jess in particular, who runs the 3D printing area, and Isa and I just need to go over and take a class and figure out how to use it ourselves. My big thing is I want to sculpt things. Isa and I both want to sculpt characters, scan them in, make STL files, and be able to print our own toys, the characters for our children's books and stuff. Something that's coming up for Isa and I, we're going to be doing Live at the Wolfe, which is going to be live art. Hello. Live art, probably Saturday afternoons. We're nailing down time, and it's going to be once a month. She and I are going to set up, and we're going to be doing custom D&D item cards. She is getting ready to start a new job. We aren't letting the cat out of the bag on any of it yet, but very happy for her that this was just kind of like dropped in her lap and has been amazing. She's about to go supernova, so y'all are gonna see quite a bit from her. She's also planning to start live streaming. So painting the miniatures is one of the things she's going to do on live stream. But for live at the Wolf, it's Bad Wolf Gaming here in Berea, Kentucky, and the new game store. Amazing little shop. We had our first board game, Brown Coats and Board Games, last week. It's
Yes.
second Thursday night of the month. We're over there. We've got a private room, medieval theme, and so we were playing Betrayal at House on the Hill, which was a blast. But she's also going to be doing character design. So if it's not exclusive, if it's something that's just going to go into our kind of arsenal of art, it's one price, and then if it's exclusive, it's another price. But I'm looking forward to doing that. And at some point this year, I am working out the details. Kentucky Fried Zine Fest is no longer in operation, sadly. I'm going to start Kentucky Zine Expo. So we're going to have another zine festival. It's going to be in, you have fun too. As they definitely get with me. What are you looking at? He found a chart.
Like true Gygaxian fashion, these are the attack tables. So it's divided by character class. If you noticed, this one's cleric, druid, monk. This one down here is paladin, ranger, fighter. Next page is whatever. Yeah. Wizards.
Whoa, careful! You're bending your other book.
Wizards and stuff. So yeah.
Wizards.
But well, they're called magic users in this game.
I know,
how
but
much more silly is that? So.
Yeah, but trying to re-roll my train of thought. Sorry, I had to stop because the look on your face. He turns into a Muppet every once in a while. But yeah, Drac, get with me if you want character design or anything like that, or custom item cards. I actually am working out something possibly with a friend to. This one is not something I made. This is one that I got as part of a set a while back.
Is that a dragon head? What is
Yes.
that? Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's a dragon head. And there's a little sword bookmark.
Oh, sweet.
But it's a spell book. This one's just pages. But I want to do the ones with the card sleeves. So that's something I'm looking into wholesaling possibly over at Bad Wolf to go with our custom stuff. Whoop. Hopefully you all can hear us. This mic thing's problematic. I actually have a lavalier mic. I need to dig it out. But, having little custom stuff. I have a client that is a leather worker that I'm going to probably get some stuff off of him for that. Trying to think what else is going on. Focusing on licensing this year, working on more surface pattern designs, working on more books. We're going to do a little bit of traveling possibly this weekend. Found out that there is kind of a bespoke witchy store that looks like a cross between Arcana Cabana from Sorcerer's Apprentice and something out of the Grimm trailer on the Grimm TV show. Hierophany and Hedge in Cincinnati. So we're going to check that out at some point this weekend. It's going to be Issa and I on a girls' day out, witchy day with Julia for her birthday. but the shop, I'll link it, is, I want the building. I really want the building. It's all dark wood. It doesn't look like it fits anywhere. It looks like it was straight plucked out of, Victorian England or something. It's just really cool. Val hasn't seen the photos yet. We're going to show those to him
I saw
afterwards.
the inside the other day. I saw
so cool.
the inside photo.
So we're going to do a little bit of traveling. We're kind of reemerging out into the world, not taking major risks, but because I'm definitely not doing cons. We've got LexCon coming up, and I'm sad to say we're going to miss it again because I just am not comfortable with that many people yet. But doing things slowly. I did get my hair cut. You guys probably noticed. So, went for simple, still doing I was going to cut it out, but this keeps glaring white and messing with the white balance on my camera, so the little bit of color is still good. But so everybody enjoy your St. Patrick's Day, and sláinte. Thanks, Drac. But share photos of what you make for St. Patrick's Day. We're gonna do corned beef stew probably this weekend or something. We got to pick up the stuff for that. But the
one brick of the corned beef and two of the cabbage heads.
Yeah. So I do a big crock pot that sits all day, and then we get some really good bread. And
potatoes for that too.
Yeah, I usually put potatoes in there. Lots of leek. You do leek too instead of the regular onions. So we've been cooking a lot lately, which has been nice. So thank you. I'll be sharing photos on Instagram. So, but you enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. I know this is your favorite holiday, Drac. But definitely sláinte. And I will be on doing more art, probably making more stickers on Saturday at noon. So I will see you then. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Hopefully I will have my desktop by then. So I am going insane not having it. Having withdrawals from being able to do family game night and stuff with everybody. But take care, stay well, stay safe, take care of each other. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and we'll catch you later. Thanks.